Hello and welcome to Level 9. This is my podcast on evaluating sources. Of course, you need to start somewhere, which is researching. Now, today I'm going to pretend we are writing an essay about music and its healing properties, okay? But I'm going to write an academic essay. Normally, academic essays would only include sources from academic journals and books. They do not include websites with the ending like .com or newspapers. These are generally not considered good sources, academic sources. However, for our purpose in Level 9, we are allowing you to use some sources. And when you start researching, it can get a little bit crazy. So let's pretend that you've decided to go to Google Scholar or even google.com and you found this great website and you're not sure if it's from a good source. So you whip out your research evaluating sources chart and you look at the titles: writer's credentials, writer's affiliations, date or currency of the material, the publisher, variability of source information, statistics, point of view, and then, of course, what information are you looking for? Okay, so the first place to start probably is checking out, does this article actually have anything useful for me? Okay, does it have statistics that support my idea? Do I understand the information? Because if you don't, or it's way too easy, then you might not have enough information, you might not have good information, and it may not be useful. So just give a quick skim of your article, okay? That's the first thing to do. I've found this article, Music Helps Us Remember Who We Are and How We Belong During Difficult and Traumatic Times. So I'm just going to do a quick skim through this article. It's got some statistics here talking about popularity of music. It has responses here from a survey. Okay, that sounds good. It's talking about somebody's current research. So far, so good. It seems like I can understand it. It's not overly long, and it's not ridiculously short either, okay? So anyway, this could be a contender. Next, I want to look at, before I even delve into the details of the article, I want to look at the source. Where is this material published? So I'm going to go to this tab, Publisher of the Material, okay? And I'm going to see if this website is reliable and highly regarded. Is it from a well-respected newspaper, magazine, or journal? Is the ending .edu, .gov? Does the publisher have any conflicts? Do they sell things? Is there advertising? These are all things you need to look for. So I'm going to go to the site. Okay, it's called, sorry, you can't see because of my face here. It's called The Conversation. Here's my URL, theconversation.com. Oh no, .com is usually not a good source. My teacher may not like this. So I better prove to her or him that this is a fantastic site and it's reliable and academic enough for me to use. Okay? So where are you going to go? Let's look down to the very, very bottom. And these areas here are what you need to click on to discover things about this site, okay? So who are we? You can take a quick skim of this and see, is it a reliable publisher? Okay. Let's look at their charter. This is their mission. What do they do? Okay. They want to inform public debate. They support and foster academic freedom. They ensure the site's integrity, okay, by having non-partisan sponsorship. That means they're not connected with them, okay? They're less biased. Any advertising is relevant, okay? So you're not going to see an advertisement about how to lose belly fat in 10 days. It's sponsored from education, from government, and maybe some private partners. So things are looking up. So have a little poke around this area, our charter. Then have a look at the team. The fact here that it says they have an editorial team makes me happy, because that means there's people reading the articles, vetting them, making sure that the facts are correct and it's not fake news, because there's so much of it these days. You really want to look for some kind of an editorial board, okay? Here they have lots of information about each person. You can look at their Twitter accounts. They have a write-up. So you can decide for yourself, do you think that these people are experts in the field? Okay, there's also a board of directors. Something else to look at is partners and funders. Where is the money coming from? Okay, so this is going to explain to you. Take a few minutes to read it. Have a look at some of the funders. Just a quick skim is showing me most of them are from universities, which is a reliable source. So they also have some strategic partners. You may want to dip into these a little bit more. Media partners, okay? This is a government site. So have a look, click around, see where they're getting their money from, see if there's an editorial board, and that is going to give you some more information on, is this publisher decent? Okay, so far what I've seen is so good. The next thing you need to look at is the actual article. All right, so that's where you're going to look at the writer's credential. Who wrote this article anyway? Okay, do they have an education? Does the topic match their field of experience? Okay, maybe do a Google search and see, what does this writer do besides write articles for this site? Let's have a look. Oh, we have to go back to the article we chose, which was this one, Music and Farmers. Okay, here we go. We have information here on the author. Her name is Emily. We could click on that, and it's probably going to give us a little information about her and her education, other publications. It talks about who she's affiliated with, so she works at Western. So you could probably make a judgment whether she has credentials in this field. Okay. Does she present a balanced view on the subject? Okay. Is she only giving you one side of an argument? If she is, that's okay. It's not necessarily a bad thing to be biased. You just need to know, what is this person's bias? Okay, because then you will be aware of the fact there are other points of views out there. So is her bias? What does she do? Well, she gets some funding from the SSHRC, which is the social science and humanities research. So I'm guessing since her funding isn't from, Spotify, we can probably trust that it's a decent source of funding and not so biased. The date of the material. Most students would just say, is this current? Oh yes, published in 2020, it's current. But I'm here to tell you that is not enough. You need to click down and click absolutely on some of these sources. So let's just randomly pick something. She's talking about her research down here, her current research. Let's have a click. All right. Workshops, documents. When is this research from? You might have to cruise around a little bit. I don't really see anything here at the moment, so I'm going to see if there's something else. What other links? She's here talking about nostalgic themed playlists. Okay, this is from Spotify, so far, I mean, if it's about music, then it's decent, but I want to look at this one. Oh, here's a survey based on responses. Let's look at this one. Entertainment Tracker, release number 1, talks about study objectives. Well, when was this published? Sometimes you've really got to click through things to figure out what's happening. This is a very long document and too long for my mini video here, so I'm not going to look at that one. I think you're getting the point though. You have to click on other areas. Oh, it's another article from The Conversation. You have to click on other areas to see, is the rest of the information the author is using up to date? Okay, so click on graphs, go to other sites, see what's happening. The same with the variability of source information, statistics and numbers. Click around, see, are there other sources that have the same facts? Type the topic into Google, see what comes up. Okay, do they have reliable statistics that are similar to other places? Put it into Google, see what comes up. Go to statista.com. And then the last thing you need to look at is point of view. Okay, what biases do you bring to this topic? I'm not talking about the author, I'm talking about you. Okay, so most topics we do have an opinion on. Whether it's because of the country we're from, whether it's to do with our age, with our gender, with our social circumstance, we all have an opinion, a bias that we basically means we have an idea about something. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, what is my bias? For example, if you are reading something about international students or immigrants in Canada, do you think you have a bias for that? Of course you do, because you're part of that group. Okay, so you just need to know, are you willing to consider alternative perspectives on this topic? And then if you are, you will have a much more open mind when you do your research. Okay, so just to recap as a summary, when you find the great article that you want, make sure it has enough information for you and that you understand it and the length is decent. Then go and check out the publisher of the material, see if it's a reliable site. If it's not, then you have to just start again. If it is, then you can delve a little bit deeper into the actual article with the writer's credentials and all of that. So I will leave you with this goodbye and a screenshot of this article. And I'm wondering, what is your opinion? Do you think music helps us remember who we are and how we belong in different kinds of circumstances? Have a great day.